The arena lights dim, the roar of thousands echoed through the T-Mobile Arena, and the tension in the air could be felt like electricity. This was not just another UFC event, this was the highly anticipated trilogy between Valentina "Bullet" Shevchenko and Alexa Grasso, a fight that symbolized more than championship gold. It represented legacy, revenge, pride, and the culmination of years of rivalry between two of the greatest female fighters in mixed martial arts history. Fans from around the world had tuned in, eager to witness whether Shevchenko could reclaim her title or if Grasso would prove once again that she belonged at the top. Valentina Shevchenko's entrance was as cold and calculated as ever. Dressed in her signature black and gold, she walked toward the octagon with calm precision, her expression unreadable, her focus unbreakable. She had been here many times before, under the bright lights, facing the pressure of championship expectations, but this time it felt different. This was personal. Losing to Grasso had been a wound to her pride, a moment that had haunted her since it happened. Across the cage, Alexa Grasso made her entrance to a thunderous roar of Mexican fans waving flags and chanting her name. She was composed but determined, her confidence forged by the victories and challenges that came with being champion. She had shocked the world once, defended her title with heart, and now stood ready to prove she wasn't a one-hit wonder. When the referee called them to the center, the air grew still. Both women stared into each other's eyes, their emotions hidden behind years of discipline and preparation. The bell rang, and the final chapter of their rivalry began. Round 3 began with the crowd sensing that Valentina was in full command. Grasso tried to rally, showing courage and aggression, landing a few solid shots early. She caught Shevchenko with a right hand that momentarily pushed her back, but the Bullet recovered instantly and responded with a sharp counter left. Valentina then mixed in leg kicks, body kicks, and feints that froze Grasso in place. Her timing was impeccable, her accuracy elite. About 2 minutes in, Shevchenko once again shot for a takedown, perfectly set up by a fake jab, and secured it without resistance. From there, she continued her ground dominance, effortlessly controlling position while landing steady shots to the body and head. Grasso attempted a triangle choke from the bottom, but Valentina escaped with ease, using her hips and balance to stay in control. She continued to advance position and punish Grasso with elbows. The difference in grappling levels was clear. As the round ended, Valentina walked back to her corner looking calm and focused, while Grasso appeared frustrated, aware that the fight was slipping away. The fourth round brought a brief moment of danger for Shevchenko. Knowing she was behind, Grasso came out aggressive and caught Valentina with a solid right hand, then quickly wrapped her arm around the neck for a guillotine choke. The crowd jumped to their feet as it looked tight, but Shevchenko stayed calm, adjusted her base, and escaped the submission attempt like a true veteran. Once free, she reversed position, moved into top control, and began landing ground and pound once again. Grasso kept trying to create scrambles, but Valentina's top pressure was smothering. She transitioned from side control to back control, flattening Grasso out and threatening with an arm triangle. The challenger's grappling was flawless, her control, positioning, and awareness were everything a coach could dream of. By the end of the round, Shevchenko had accumulated over 10 minutes of control time. The fight was turning into a one-sided technical masterclass, with Valentina showcasing her evolution as a complete mixed martial artist. From the opening seconds of the first round, Shevchenko asserted her control. Her stance was balanced, her movements smooth, and her timing sharp. She immediately began reading Grasso's rhythm, gauging distance with feints and low kicks. Grasso tried to close the gap with her crisp boxing, throwing jabs and hooks, but Shevchenko's counters were laser precise. A left cross landed cleanly, followed by a sharp body kick that echoed through the arena. Valentina's composure was flawless, her footwork impeccable. Every time Grasso stepped forward, she met resistance. Midway through the round, Shevchenko changed levels beautifully, shooting for a double-leg takedown and bringing the fight to the mat with textbook execution. On the ground, Shevchenko was in her element. She moved like a machine, controlling position, landing short but effective ground and pound, and keeping Grasso pinned. The Mexican champion tried to use her jiu-jitsu to create scrambles, but Valentina's pressure was relentless. Every time Grasso attempted to shift her hips or set up an armbar, Shevchenko anticipated it, shutting it down before it developed. As the horn sounded, the tone was set. Valentina Shevchenko was back, and she meant business. The second round began with Grasso's corner urging her to increase the pace. The champion came forward aggressively, throwing combinations and leg kicks, trying to find her range. For a brief moment, she landed a clean right hand that drew cheers from the crowd. But Valentina's response was immediate: a stiff jab, a counter left, and another takedown that sent Grasso crashing to the mat. Once again, Shevchenko demonstrated her wrestling dominance. She seamlessly transitioned from half guard to mount, maintaining control and chipping away with elbows and short punches. Her positional awareness was perfect, she was always one step ahead. Grasso's face showed signs of frustration as she tried to escape, but Shevchenko's pressure was suffocating. The fourth round began with urgency from Grasso. Her corner told her she needed to take risks, that time was running out. She came out swinging with aggression, throwing combinations, and stepping into the pocket. For the first time in the fight, she found some success. A looping right hand connected, followed by a left hook, and then she jumped into a guillotine choke that looked deep. The crowd erupted as Shevchenko's face tightened, but the bullet remained composed. She calmly adjusted her posture, slipped her head free, and reversed position with incredible balance. Once on top, she punished Grasso with elbows from side control. The escape turned into dominance yet again. For the rest of the round, Shevchenko put on a grappling exhibition. She maintained heavy top pressure, transitioned to back control, and flattened Grasso out. Her control was technical perfection, small adjustments, steady pressure, no wasted movement. Grasso continued to fight back, showing heart and determination, but she couldn't get back to her feet. By the time the horn sounded, Shevchenko had amassed nearly 15 minutes of total control time. It was a stunning display of skill and dominance. As the fifth and final round began, the energy in the arena reached its peak. The crowd could sense the history unfolding before their eyes. Grasso, knowing she needed a finish to retain her title, came out with everything she had left. She threw wild punches, spinning attacks, anything that could land clean. But Shevchenko was too composed, too sharp. Her footwork allowed her to stay just outside of range, countering with precision and efficiency. Every time Grasso came forward, she walked into a straight left or a quick kick to the body. Then, as if to put an exclamation mark on her performance, Shevchenko shot for one more takedown, her eighth of the fight, and got it with ease. The fifth and final round began with Grasso needing a finish. Her corner urged her to go all out, to take risks, to swing for the fences. She came forward aggressively, throwing wild hooks and overhands, hoping to land something big. But Shevchenko stayed composed, reading every movement. Her footwork was crisp, her defense airtight. She continued to pick Grasso apart with jabs and body kicks, maintaining range and dictating tempo. Then, as Grasso stepped in with another punch, Shevchenko timed a perfect double-leg takedown, her eighth of the fight, a career high. The crowd cheered as Valentina controlled from the top once again, dominating the final round as she had the previous four. With less than a minute remaining, she landed steady elbows, keeping Grasso pinned. When the horn sounded, both fighters rose to their feet, exhausted but proud. They embraced briefly mutual respect between two warriors who had given everything. As Bruce Buffer took the microphone to announce the result, the crowd grew silent. The tension in the air was thick. Both fighters stood side by side, waiting for the decision that would define their careers. All three judges scored the contest 50-45 for the winner by unanimous decision, and new undisputed UFC Women's Flyweight Champion of the world, Valentina Shevchenko. The arena erupted in cheers. Shevchenko raised her hands high, emotion flooding her face as the gold belt was wrapped around her waist once again. It was redemption fulfilled, a dominant, flawless performance that reminded the world why she is one of the greatest to ever compete inside the octagon. When the referee called them to the center, both women met eyes. There was no touch of gloves, no smile, just mutual respect and fierce determination. The bell rang, and the war began. From the opening seconds of the first round, Valentina Shevchenko displayed the calm precision that had made her a dominant champion for so many years. She moved lightly on her feet, controlling distance with her southpaw stance. Alexa Grasso tried to push the pace, using her boxing to close the gap, but Shevchenko's timing was immaculate. Every time Grasso stepped forward, the Bullet fired back with a sharp counter, a quick left hand, a snapping body kick, or a check hook that kept the Mexican champion off balance. Halfway through the round, Valentina fainted high and changed levels for a beautifully timed double leg takedown. The crowd roared as she landed cleanly, instantly transitioning into side control. From the top, Shevchenko looked as composed as ever, keeping heavy pressure while Grasso tried to create space for a triangle or armbar. Valentina defended perfectly, slipping past every attempt, maintaining control until the round ended. It was a flawless 5 minutes, pure Shevchenko dominance, a reminder of why she was considered one of the most complete fighters in the sport's history. The second round began much like the first. Grasso's corner urged her to find her rhythm, to pressure more, to force Shevchenko to fight moving backward. Alexa came out with volume, throwing combinations and leg kicks, but Valentina's defense was airtight. She slipped punches with minimal movement, countered with crisp precision, and soon found another opportunity for a takedown. She shot low, drove through Grasso's hips, and secured control on the canvas once again. This time, she transitioned from half-guard to mount, using her knees to isolate Grasso's arms. The champion tried to explode in reverse, but Shevchenko stayed glued to her, landing short elbows and punches from the top position. Every movement of Valentina's was efficient and deliberate. Her experience and technical depth were on full display. On the mat, she once again controlled the pace, landing short elbows and maintaining top pressure until the final horn. When it sounded, both women stood up slowly, exhausted but respectful. They met in the center of the cage and shared a brief hug, a moment of mutual acknowledgement between two warriors who had given everything they had. When Bruce Buffer took the microphone for the official decision, the arena fell silent. The tension was heavy as the two fighters stood side by side. All three judges scored the contest 50-45 for the winner by unanimous decision, and new undisputed UFC Women's Flyweight Champion of the world, Valentina "Bullet" Shevchenko. The crowd erupted in cheers. After months of doubt and rebuilding, the Bullet had returned to reclaim her throne. She raised her arms in victory, her face a mix of relief, emotion, and pride. It was redemption at its finest. The champion had fallen, evolved, and risen again. The fight statistics told the full story of her dominance. Shevchenko had completed 8 takedowns out of 12 attempts, controlled over 15 minutes of ground time, and landed 81% of her significant strikes. Grasso, though resilient, couldn't overcome the technical superiority of her opponent. For Shevchenko, it was a statement victory, not just a win, but a reaffirmation of her legacy as one of the most complete and intelligent fighters in the sport. Her performance was a masterclass in precision, patience, and strategy. From the opening bell, Shevchenko's composure was mesmerizing. She took control of the center, light on her feet, her movement crisp and efficient. Alexa Grasso began circling, looking for her rhythm, trying to apply pressure with her boxing. But Valentina's timing was razor-sharp. She landed the first clean strike of the fight, a hard left cross straight down the middle that snapped Grasso's head back. Then came the body kick, loud and thudding, a reminder of Shevchenko's Muay Thai roots. She was faster, smoother, and deadlier in her precision. Grasso tried to counter, throwing combinations and attacking with volume, but Valentina's defense was airtight. She slipped, pivoted, and fired back with sniper-like accuracy. 2 minutes in, the Bullet changed levels perfectly, driving through Grasso's hips and scoring the first takedown of the fight. The crowd roared as the action hit the canvas. On the ground, Shevchenko's control was suffocating